created Storyland from the huge number of stories I have written and characters that I have drawn over the years. Storyland is an imaginary place with all of my imaginary characters. All of the Storyland characters that I have created are all Canadian. Storyland has several old, new, good, bad, cute, funny, loving, and strange characters that you can read about. All of the Storyland stories are based on either towns or cities within Canada that I have either lived or visited. Fawn and Spot are from Charlotte Lake, Ontario. They were created in the early 90s. Fawn is not like ordinary cows. He likes French fries and orange pop. Spot takes care of Fawn and tries to keep him out of trouble as much as she can. They now live in Calgary, Alberta. Rackham Raccoon is from Charlotte Lake, Ontario. He was created in the early 90s. He was the very first character I ever wrote about. Rackham Raccoon lives in the Big Dark Forest. He has many forest friends that he tries to help out as much as he can. Travelin' Rick is from Charlotte Lake, Ontario. He was created in the early 90s. He has had some very interesting travel adventures. He has visited with both the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. He has traveled throughout Canada. Chester Chipmunk is from Charlotte Lake, Ontario. He was created in the early 90s. He is very kind and devoted. He helps his sister Susie as much as he can. Billy Troll is from Charlotte Lake, Ontario. He was created in the early 90s. He is a talented musician. He is married and has 2 children. Springman is a brand new character that I just created. He lives in Kenora, Ontario with his parents. Springman is a mummy's boy because his mother is protective of him. Way too protective. Ant is a new character in Storyland. I based him out of Calgary, Alberta. Ant is a very troubled character who finds out the hard way that lying and tricking other characters is not good. E.Egg. The E stands for Easter. He is a very handsome egg I created for Easter. I based him out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. He likes to hide in tall grass on Easter egg hunts, and he screams when he is found. Killer is a character I created for my love of rock and roll music. He is a very mysterious character. I based him out of Charlotte Lake, Ontario. He believes that he is the real Taylor Hawkins of the Foo Fighters. Slushy Snowman is a character I created as a winter character. I based him out of Quebec City, Quebec. He tends to have a bad temper when he is angry, and he heats up and melts. Arrow is a character I created based on my real-life cat, Arrow. He is 10 years old now. Arrow was born in BC and has traveled across Canada with me several times. He is the most loving and devoted cat there ever was. Grampy's Little Green Car is a character I created based on a 1932 Model A Ford my dad owned when we lived in Lindsay, Ontario. He would have gotten that car in the early 70s. That car was more like a family member to us. Little Crow is a character I created who is bullied by his cousin. He is very kind and timid. He is based out of Calgary, Alberta. Neon Cop fights crime in fluorescent clothing. He is very sincere and honest. He helps people in times of need. I based him out of Charlotte Lake, Ontario. Safety Kid is based out of Kamloops, BC. He travels throughout Storyland, keeping Storyland characters out of harm's way. Angry Cat lives with his sister Harriet and his mother in Calgary, Alberta. He is a bad cat because he tends to get angry all the time over silly little things. Creepy Creature lives in Banff, Alberta. He is considered bad because of the way he behaves. He likes to wrap himself around people's legs and scream until they give him candy. Little Rebel is based out of Oshawa, Ontario. She is a preteen and rebels against her parents. Mr. Winter is based out of Calgary, Alberta. He is considered a bad character because he is in charge of the weather during the winter months, and he uses this to his advantage. If he is angry, which he often is, people suffer because he will turn the thermostat way down. Storm Angel is based out of Gatineau, Quebec. He is responsible for creating severe storms throughout Storyland. Don't let the name Angel fool you. He is definitely no angel. Cutie is my other real-life cat. She is the most adorable cat there ever was. She loves attention and is very loving, except when it comes to her brother Arrow. She is from Calgary, Alberta. Shaggy Dog is a Commodore breed of dog. He looks like a mophead. He lives in Prince George, BC. He constantly gets dirty by rolling in the mud. When he is all cleaned up, he looks adorable. Jen Jen is based out of Perth, Ontario. She is a character I created based on my real-life daughter. My character Jen Jen is beautiful, just like my daughter. Rusty is a rust-colored dog based out of Lethbridge, Alberta. He is a very adorable dog with all of his beautiful fur. Trickster is based out of Calgary, Alberta. He is a very cute bunny, but don't let his looks deceive you. He does like to play tricks on his family and friends. Hillbilly Bob is a funny character in that he is rather eccentric with his pipe and his straw hat. He may look like a hillbilly, but he does have the kindest heart of any character in Storyland. Hillbilly Bob is based out of Kamloops, BC. Gertie, the Queen of the Calgary Stampede. She is a funny character because of her pink cowboy boots and hat. She is also funny because she is an old woman and acts like a kid during the stampede. Mr. Iceman is a funny character because he can make ice with his feet just by walking. I, for one, am glad this can't happen in real life. We would be slipping and sliding everywhere. I have Mr. Iceman based out of Calgary, Alberta. Mr. Rubberman is a funny little man who is made of rubber. He can erase events in Storyland that are negative. I have him based out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. I bet a lot of people in Winnipeg would like Mr. Rubberman to erase some of the winter weather that they get. Peanut is a funny character because of the leaves he carries around on his head. He is also funny because he is a walking, talking peanut. I have him based out of North Battleford, Saskatchewan. Mother Elf is a very loving character to her two children, Jason and Annie. She is devoted to them and makes sure all their needs are taken care of. I have her based out of Prince George, BC. Franny Granny is a very loving character to her two grandchildren, Tracy and Daniel. Franny Granny walks around with plastic flowers in her hair and dresses that are too short for her. She is always being teased, but she doesn't care what people think. Franny Granny is based out of Calgary, Alberta. Mrs. Robin is the most loyal and loving mother character in Storyland. She has 3 babies that she loves more than anything. Sometimes she takes better care of them than she does herself. Mrs. Robin is based out of Calgary, Alberta. Lovable Viking is a very loving character, which is not what we would expect from a Viking. He is so lovable that he will not let his crew harm any woman or child. I have Lovable Viking based out of St. John, New Brunswick. Sprinkles is a very loving character. She has candy sprinkles for hair. She is always there for whoever needs help. Sprinkles is based out of Brandon, Manitoba. Scrunchy is from Kamloops, BC. He is considered strange because he walks with his head to the ground and his behind stuck up in the air. He finds this is a much more comfortable way to walk. Zimba Zombie is from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. He is considered strange because he is a zombie. He is a very loving character though. He helps take care of his grandmother. His grandmother is the only family member that stuck by him when he was turned into a zombie. Frankie Monster is from Cabbagetown in Toronto, Ontario. He is considered strange because he is pale and ghostly looking. Because of his looks, he doesn't have many friends. He did, however, fall in love with the waitress Anna. She loves him despite his looks. Lost Christmas Tree is from Kelowna, BC. He is considered strange because he is a real live Christmas tree. He often gets lost and doesn't know where he will spend Christmas. Hop Out and Hop In live in Kelowna, BC. They are considered strange because they are 2 frogs that wear t-shirts with their names on them. Hop Out finds out who had a good year, and Hop In tries to find out who is ready to hop into the new year.